Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Fowl Original with me, Fowl Original, with a show called Bitzer about some hippies who upcycled things before upcycling was a thing. I loved it. It was on CBBC when I was a kid. Great. Unfortunately, uh, got an individual calling me now at the wrong time. They'll know that. So, literally at the exact wrong time. It's like that individual has an idea of exactly when I'm about to start on the internet and then calls me at that exact second. But anyway, let's join Fowl Originals Newsround for tonight. Now, I don't have an attorney general, says President Trump. He doesn't have an attorney general, does he? So, I've been looking through the news. Earlier on tonight, we had the weekly wrestling recap, and I spoke about Birmingham Film Festival. If you want to check that out, that's on the other Fowl Original Wrestling channel. Unfortunately, I remembered once I finished the show, I was like, "Fowl, you've spoke about all the films, and you spoke about all of them at length. Didn't speak about This Is Progress though, film, which was the film that the whole festival was kind of really geared towards. I'm sorry, Dale. I'll talk about it another time. I do apologize, but if not, yeah, This Is Progress. I'm gonna be changing the description of this, and I will put a link in the description to be able to pick up This Is Progress and help support that guy because that was an amazing documentary. And Vicky Haskins, thank you for making me feel $1 million, young bucks. Great time. I hope my business cards are going around. I'm gonna call you out. I hope they're going out. I hope they're going out because Foul Original is doesn't doesn't give up. Never gonna give you up, never gonna turn around. Go to felloriginal.com and support me. Hit support the channel, go to become a Patreon, or you can go to streamlabs.com/felloriginalwrestling. And then just nip to donate, that's a PayPal button. And if you click this here, you can help me. If you just pop me five US dollars, make it a monthly donation. Support me. Or you log into PayPal and you just click me here, and you will help me support me. I don't need to make it any more clear. I just want you to support me. I'll take $5 if you can. Never gonna give me up, never gonna let me down, never gonna turn around. You'll support me. Oh, I can make that into a whole thing, couldn't I? Anyway, I don't have an attorney general, says President Trump. I don't have an attorney general. Why? Why is this? Why? I have no attorney general. This is an amazing story, and I just really love Donald Trump so much, like so much. The best TV show of the whole of the past few years has been what I like to call the American television show, which is basically just Donald Trump playing the most hyper realistic reality TV show of all time, and it was initially called the presidential election, and now that he's a presidential electorate, he's going out on the on the PR stint, and he's just making so many friends. Anyway, I don't have an attorney general, says President Trump. On the BBC.co.uk just 2 hours ago, this is during the Russia-Trump inquiry, which is obviously a big deal for both sides of the debate, both Republicans and Democrats, because both sides have a vested interest in the outcome of this inquiry. So there's Mr. Sessions. He just looks so unhappy. There's Donald Trump not caring. US President Donald Trump has said he does not have an attorney general in his fiercest attack yet on Jeff Sessions. In an interview with Hill.tv, Mr. Trump renewed criticism of Mr. Sessions' decision to step aside from the inquiry into alleged Russian interference in the 2016 election. Not fake news, alternative news, because he has gone to a different place. He also said he was unhappy with Mr. Sessions' response to immigration. The Attorney General is yet to respond to Mr. Trump's comments. It is unusual for a sitting president to attack their Attorney General. It is very unusual. It's not unusual for Trump to do it, though, to attack the Attorney General, and critics accuse Mr. Trump of trying to meddle in the legal system. After the president criticized Sessions last month, two key Republican senators signaled that they would support Mr. Trump if he were to fire Mr. Sessions after the November midterm elections. However, other Republicans told Politico they thought this would be a bad move and said they were standing by the Attorney General. Mr. Sessions has pushed back against previous criticism by Mr. Trump. While I am Attorney General, the actions of the Department of Justice will not be improperly influenced by political considerations, he said in August. I demand the highest standards, and where they are not met, I take action. Mr. Sessions was an early supporter of Mr. Trump's presidential campaign, but he left the Russia investigation, which was reportedly looking into whether Mr. Trump attempted to obstruct justice in 2017, citing a potential conflict of interest, and handed control to his deputy, Rod Rosenstein. The president insists there was no collusion between his campaign and the Russian government and denies he has attempted to obstruct justice. What has Mr. Trump said this time? I don't have an attorney general. It's very sad, Mr. Trump said during Tuesday's interview. He added that he was very disappointed about Mr. Sessions' decision to leave the investigation. Asked whether he would consider firing Mr. Sessions, the president responded, "We'll see what happens. A lot of people have asked me to do that. You're fired. And I guess I study history, and I say I just want to leave things alone. But it was unfair what he did in recusing himself from the Russian investigation." So Mr. Sessions recused himself from the investigation. Mr. Trump also told Hill.tv that he was not happy with Mr. Sessions on immigration and other issues, and said the Attorney General had performed very poorly during the nomination process for the post. I mean, he was mixed up and confused, and people that worked for him for, a long time in the Senate were not nice to him. But he was giving very confusing answers, he said. Answers that should have been easily answered, and that was a rough time for him. A remarkable attack. Donald Trump no longer likes Jeff Sessions, one of his earliest, most prominent supporters. This is not news. There are also political reasons why the president has been unwilling to straight up fire his attorney general. This is also not news. That Mr. Trump went so far as to say he didn't have an attorney general, a slightly tamer version of "he's dead to me," is dramatic, but it's variations on the theme. How did we get here? Mr. Trump's comments mark just the latest stage in a torrid relationship. February 2016, Jeff Sessions becomes the first Republican senator to publicly endorse Mr. Trump in the presidential race. February 2017, he is confirmed as Attorney General. March 2017, he admits he met a Russian ambassador during the election. He insists the meeting only took place as part of his work as a senator, but recuses himself from the Russia investigation. July 2017, Mr. Trump tells the New York Times he would never have appointed Mr. Sessions had he known he would recuse himself. Over the following year, he sends a number of tweets critical of Mr. Sessions. August 2018, early in the month, Mr. Trump tweets that Mr. Sessions should stop this rigged witch hunt in reference to the Russia inquiry. A few weeks later, he piles in saying, "The only reason I gave him the job was Mr. Sessions' loyalty." So, it's very, 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 very dark day in United States politics. It's been a dark few years, really, hasn't it? I just love the infighting. And the infighting basically shows that a lot of people are saying that President Trump should be impeached. I don't. I think he's great how he's doing. He's a peach already. He's more of an orange. But an attorney, someone who obviously knows that they were up to something during that and potentially did something untoward and some other untoward things, recusing themselves from an investigation that potentially could incriminate them, basically pleading the fifth. That's smart. That's why you're Attorney General. But I love the fact that Donald Trump can't do anything about it. So he's like, well, I don't like him, so poo-poo. Poo. Let's see if I can actually check the chat out, because it looks like there's a few of you chatting in there, and I have not been chatting. So there you go. So let's. Oh, it's a bit weird looking at my eyes here. Let's just see if I can pop up the petty. And thank you, as I said, to everyone who's joined tonight. Newsround is a show that I love doing, and we have earned. Oh, hello, Yukon Camper, and hello, Mr. Brian Walsh. And let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. I can't see what you're saying in the chat, but we are in the US, etc. I'm gonna fix that. I'll fix that, but for now, let's pop you over there so I can keep an eye on it. I'm gonna fix that. We'll fix the chat. It's just I haven't been able to log in because I've just been so ever so busy. So that's the main story of tonight, really. And I mean, I feel like it needed to be spoken of because this is just an ongoing series of stupid decisions, which started with the ultimate stupid decision, which was putting Trump in power. But I wonder if, like, there is supposed to be a very high-ranking official that is constantly saying stuff to the New York Times and the Washington Post, sorry, no, the New York Times or the New York Times article. Is it him? Is it Sessions? Ultimate revenge. You know what? We're trying to stop him doing stupid stuff. Yeah, I literally take pieces of paper out of his hand. I loved that, like, confession. Like, there were certain, like, filings and papers that if he signed them, yeah, he would have more power. So we just said, oh, we can't find him. Oh, the photocopy is broken. Oh, what are you talking about? Oh, look at that shiny thing over there, President. Oh. Grab her by the soul, hearts and minds. That's the first story. That's the first big story. And I wanna just whip us straight into in other news, because today I've been rushing about doing stuff. As I said, don't really want to go into it on Newsround because it's not really a Newsround topic. But I've come back from a great weekend of Birmingham Film Festival, and then didn't come back to the greatest of things when I came back. I'm just going to leave it at that, because this is one of those things that I said where, Val, you watch this back to yourself and you remember the 17th of September. Now, if you want to help me remember the 17th of September, go to fowloriginal.com. When you go to fowloriginal.com, you can go to support the channel. And when you hit support the channel, it will allow you to become a Patreon. You go to streamlabs.com/fowloriginalwrestling. Or the easiest, most simplest ways of doing this is to go to the donate. You click the donate button over here. When you click donate, it will allow you to pop in a PayPal donation. You can pop in $5 if you wanted, or you can pop in $7. I don't know, the $7 if you wanted to. As a one-off donation. If you want to make that a monthly donation, you can do that, and you'll pop along a monthly donation of $100 to me on a monthly basis to help support the content and help me go in and help support the channel in many, many ways. You log into PayPal, you can do it with credit card, debit card, and if you do it as a one-off, obviously you can make you can write in a note, tell me who you are, and if you do make it a monthly donation, please tell me who you are, and I will shout you out. We'll be figuring out a way to get some tiered rewards happening in the next few weeks as I'll be rolling on to EGX next weekend. I'm kind of focused on that. But in other news, oh, it's getting a little bit too early in the race there. So, man in Salisbury, illness hoaxed Prince Charles. The man who prompted a major incident in Salisbury after apparently falling ill in a restaurant 6 months after a nerve agent attack in the city once hoaxed Prince Charles. A picture of the couple posted on Ms. Shapiro's Instagram account in 2015. Alex King, 42, was admitted to hospital on Sunday with his wife after reports they became unwell in Prezzo. Police sources have told the BBC a hoax is likely to be one line of inquiry, and that until the man has been spoken to, we can't rule anything in or out. No arrests have been made. On Tuesday, Mr. King's wife, Anna Shapiro, 30, told The Sun that the Russian state had poisoned her and her husband. The paper reported it was what security sources fear was a suspected rat poison attack. Ms. Shapiro is a model and an Israeli citizen of Russian heritage. A spokesman for The Sun told the BBC, like any newspaper, we were keen to talk to those at the centre of the incident and gain the opportunity to share with the public their version of events. The BBC was unable to contact the couple. Separately, Wiltshire Police said on Wednesday, this is now a routine investigation. The woman from the restaurant has been interviewed once and is likely to be spoken to again. The next step is to speak to the man involved. Wiltshire Police earlier confirmed the pair were not exposed to any nerve agent and that it was not linking their illness with the recent poisonings in Salisbury and Amesbury. And given recent events in Salisbury, the reporting of an event requiring the evacuation of bars and restaurants by police officials in biohazard suits, and that requires tests for the presence of Novichok, is of obvious public interest, a spokesman for The Sun added. Oh, that was the wrong one. That was a different voice. Salisbury District Hospital said, both patients are now medically fit and have been discharged from hospital. It is understood that the couple also tested negative for any other poisons, including rat poison. Royal prank. In 2006, Mr. King carried out a prank on the Prince of Wales at a film premiere. He inserted himself into the official lineup of stars being greeted by Prince Charles and was later interviewed by the media about his deception. He claimed the prank was carried out as part of a £100,000 bet with his employer, the convicted fraudster Edward Davenport. In 2004, Mr. King pled guilty at London's Horseferry Road Magistrates Court to 3 counts of distributing indecent photographs or pseudo-photographs of children. Negative results. In a statement on Wednesday, Lorna Wilkinson, Director of Nursing at Salisbury District Hospital, said, "Given recent events, they had tested Mr. King and Ms. Shapiro for nerve agents when they were admitted on Sunday evening. Tests on both patients came back negative," she said. "Both patients are now medically fit and there is no need for them to be in the hospital. While this incident did not involve nerve agents, it was clearly very stressful for our staff, who once again demonstrated the very best of the NHS. I want to thank them for rising to the occasion yet again," she added. On 4th of March, Russian ex-spy Sergei Skripal and his daughter Yulia, collapsed in Salisbury, having been exposed to the nerve agent Novichok. After weeks in hospital, they were released, but in June, 2 Amesbury residents fell ill after being exposed to the same nerve agent. Dawn Sturgis, 44, later died. The UK government has accused 2 Russian men, Alexander Petrov and Rusyan Bosharov, of attempting to kill the Skripals. But in an interview on a Russian state-run news channel, they claim to be tourists. The whole of Russia has denied any involvement in the poisonings. Do we believe them? I want to get poisoned. I'm going to leave it at that. In other news, #KindaGrinder gay dating app launches anti-racism campaign. Now, for those of you that are all like, I'm just going to stop you there, yeah? I'm going to stop you there. For all of you that have a certain belief of me, a certain belief of my potential persuasions, yeah? Take with this what you will. #Grindr, gay dating app launches anti-racism campaign. If you're a black or Asian user of gay dating app Grindr, then it's possible you've encountered racism while using it. This is from Newsbeat, BBC.co.uk. This is not just me talking. Some users of the app have said they've come across what they believe are discriminatory statements on other profiles, things like, "No blacks, no Asians." No blacks, no Asians. Others say they faced racist comments in conversation with users when they've rejected their advances. Now, Grindr has taken a stand against discrimination on its platform and says no user is entitled to tear another down for being who they are. It's launched the #KindaGrinder campaign to raise awareness of racism and discrimination and promote inclusivity among users. It says it will ban users who bully or defame others and will remove offensive language from profiles. And there's a video here about #Kinda. And this is Grindr users talking about sexual racism, Kinda, episode 1. This is the first in a series of videos and includes well-known BAME individuals such as RuPaul's Drag Race star The Vixen and comedian Joel Kim Booster. What the hell does BAME mean? Black and Asian men, I guess. Let's find out. Search the Googs. BAME. BAME is a term long used in the UK to refer to black, Asian, and minority. When was this? Wait, what the? When was this? When did this become a thing? I didn't know about this. I didn't know. I'm a black and Asian man. And minority ethnic. I'm one of these. How did I not know about this? #TIL. It's a BAME. Like, apparently it's a whole. I didn't even know this. I didn't even know it was a thing. BAME. Like, what? I've been so blind. Anyway, that's a little learning lesson. Zach Stafford, Chief Content Officer at Grindr, says he has experienced racism on the app himself. "I was a user of Grindr before I started working here, so I was already familiar with the racism and issues faced by people of colour or non-masculine identifying people on the app," he says in a statement. "Online discrimination has reached epidemic proportions, affecting not only Grindr but other social networks. No blacks, no Asians, no Hispanics. I've had people call me a monkey," says 26-year-old Alex Leon, an LGBT activist from London who uses Grindr. "Some people will very bluntly say something along the lines of, 'No blacks, no Asians, no Hispanics.' He welcomes Grindr's Kinder initiative that says he'd like to see more from the company in the future to protect young BAME people using the app. For many young people, this is their first foray into the world of what it means to be LGBT, he adds. These spaces are supposed to be meant for you as a gay or bisexual person. Then you come into contact with even more discrimination. And that is true, yeah? Like, think about it, like, just from a very, and this is why I wanted to talk about this story, from a very, like, just surface level. If you already feel that you're discriminated and marginalized and people don't like you for something about yourself, and then you basically get people that go, yeah, you're gay, but yeah, all that stuff, yeah, we still, like, yeah, we still don't like you for all those things. Just because you're gay, like, that doesn't unite you. That actually makes you even worse, because why are you here? You're making me look bad. It's very interesting, isn't it? And it just goes to show that even within a broad, inclusive community, there's always going to be marginalized racism and marginalized people as well, isn't there? I mean, I have come across racism. Can't see I'm winking there. Now, it just continues. Phil Samba thinks Grindr's new approach to inclusivity could have a lot more sooner. Could have come a lot more sooner. Phil works at the Terence Higgins Trust, and I'm tired of talking about racism on dating apps because I talk about my experiences, and non-people of colour say that's really bad, and it just continues. He tells Newsbeat, "I'm bored of talking about how I've been called the N-word on an app, or how traditionally non-black men will react badly if I don't want to sleep with them." Phil says #KindaGrinder is a step in the right direction, but wants to see users banned if they continue to use racist or discriminatory language on their profiles or in conversation with others. He says seeing racist statements about sexual preferences or profiles leaves BAME people, black and, let's just go back to our learning, to this thing, black, Asian, and minority ethnic people, leaves feels like there's something wrong with you because of your race. Grindr says it's setting a higher standard for its users and updated its community guidelines. It says it will ban anyone found bullying, threatening, or defaming another user, and will also remove any discriminatory statements displayed on profiles. You're free to express your preference. Shall I do it? You're free to express your preferences, but we'd rather hear about what you're into, not what you aren't, it said. It also encourages users to report anyone who appears to be breaking the rules. So, breaking the law. I find it very, very interesting, as I said, within even like a very inclusive community, which is already quite small, to then go, oh yeah, and like, no, you guys, not you guys. And I also find it very interesting that there seems to be like such malice from traditionally non-white men to black BAME people, BAMEs, to BAMEs. I'm a BAME, so it's fine. To BAMEs, yeah, because like, why are you having? Why is it like such a big deal? Why is it such a personal attack that a white individual would be like, "Oh, you don't want to sleep with me because you sexy black man. You know what? Yeah, screw you. You're a insert insult, or like, that's why you don't want." And then they just start the tirade. Like, I'm guessing that, and it's interesting to see that it's something that I haven't really come across, but it's just a very strange thought to have in what should be an inclusive community. I mean, I can kind of now, like, transgender, I mean, we have spoken about this before, but transgender being so new within the normal mainstream, and I don't mean normal like that, but within mainstream conversation, and it's new to a lot of people. So I can kind of understand Grindr being very much like people maybe within that community, because obviously no one's like 1, 2, 1, 0. It's not like someone's gay, straight. There's always like a spectrum there. So you can't really say it, but it's very interesting to think that like there's people there that are already having a really bad time with their self-esteem, and someone says to them, you know what, yeah, I understand that you're trying to, like, try stuff. Go on Grindr, you'll find someone. And you go on Grindr and people are like, I don't want you. Get off. And like, get off without me. Anyway, that was very depressing. In other news, also kind of sad news, but so this is a British guy, yeah, that I know of, called Mr. Dennis Norden. He used to do a show called It'll Be All Right on the Night. He was also a film critic, and I was a big fan of Dennis Norden. At some point, I will put Dennis Norden at the end of one of my shows, but it was a very good comic as well. Yeah, and I mean, Eric Sykes was one of his big time showbiz friends. Is Eric Sykes, and I love those those guys from that era because they really get my comedy. And They were in the army together. They were in like World War II. They fought for our country. Then they fought for our boredom. Um, and you've got Dennis Moyster Norden was born to a Jewish family in Hackney, East London on the 6th of February 1922. And you can see that he was already, I don't really want to skip over his life, but I just like to kind of give a little shout out to my man, Dennis Norden. Thank you for those hearts. In the early 60s, Norden and Muir came up with a television legal comedy Brothers-in-Law, starring a young Richard Bryars. And yeah, the pair were also responsible for collaboration with Peter Sellers and stuff. Actually, I need to talk about this. They did. They spontaneously used the same arcane phrase, not a Witterverse. They was Take It From Here with Jimmy Edwards, Jim Whitfield, the Glums, like trouble, and catchphrases that trouble at Mill and disgusted of Tunbridge Wells. Just great stuff. Like, I mean, just oh, they really wrote a lot of comedy and been inspiration for comedy for a lot of British people. And you know that people watch stuff from with Dennis Norden. It'll Be Alright on the Night. I remember I used to really appreciate it as a kid. And it was like that was It'll Be Alright on the Night ran for 29 years, and that's what I know him for, like most, like when I was a kid. And it was the and it's the they were talking about, and he's like, and you can see this story. It's great. Producer, it was at London Weekend Television, and they were talking about the Blue Peter clip when the elephant poops live on stage, and they had It'll Be Alright on the Night. You can see him there, and he was still working into his 80s, and he was unable to work any further when he was failing his eyesight. And he was no longer able to see the TV clips in 2006 after having a hemorrhage at the back of his eye. And unfortunately, he couldn't see it anymore, and that's so sad. And it said for years he resisted writing an autobiography, claiming that Frank Muir had pretty much covered everything in his own memoir. A book called The Bits Frank Left Out would be disappointingly brief, he said. But in his 80s and by now partially sighted, he changed his mind. He used a special computer which could read back what he had typed, although it was a long and painful process. What shines through is his love of working with other comedians and the challenge of making other people funny. And looking back over more than 70 years in comedy, he counted himself supremely fortunate to have worked at the time he did. We not only lived through the golden age of so many forms of popular entertainment, he wrote, we were present at the birth of them, enjoyed their heyday, and were there to mourn their passing. And I'd like to just say one last time, rest in peace, Dennis Norden. Like, Dennis Norden died at age 96. Like, it's really this is like Chuckle Brothers style stuff, but more deep, because I really did like a lot of the things that he did, and I saw inspiration in what he did, and if I could be even a 16th of the career that he had, that would be amazing. And the success and the talent, very talented man who lived through a lot of really hard times. And it just goes to show that, yeah, a lot of comedy is born from pain and sorrow, and that's why it will continue to be painful and sorrowful to make you all laugh and to entertain you till my dying day. And until my dying day, I will tell you that you need to go to fowloriginal.com. If you go to fowloriginal.com, you can go and support the channel and help pay for my early funeral. If you go to support the channel, it will open up this thing. You can become a Patreon, streamlabs.com, or you just click the donate button. Hit the donate button, it will take you to the PayPals, and you can pop in I don't know, $5 if you wanted. You can make this a monthly donation. It's price for a cup of coffee, and you'd be helping me to make this on the regs. You can also write a note, say, "Hey, I am," and if you want to do a one-off donation as well, both options are available. But enough of that shilling. Let's get back to the thrilling. In other news, so back to in other news, we also have a story that I wanted to briefly talk about, which BAME. How did I never hear the phrase BAME? Like, I heard that you are. I hear that you are waiting for me. I will break your spirits, and then I will bridge go back. BAME. Um, Anyway, in other news, cycling land speed, Dennis Mueller-Korinek breaks world record. Mueller-Korinek cycled at the takeoff speed of a large jet. For most people, the idea of travelling along the ground at more than 180 miles per hour is anything other than a plane preparing for takeoff. Anything other than a plane preparing for takeoff is nausea-inducing. Denise Mueller-Korinek, it is fair to say, is not most people. The US woman has reached an eye-watering average speed of 183.932 miles per hour, or 296,010 kilometers per an hour on a bicycle. The remarkable speed means the 45-year-old not only smashed her own world record, but the long-standing men's one as well. Her reaction, somewhat understated. It was crazy, a wild ride to 183.9 miles per hour, but so worth the sacrifice and years of focus on becoming the fastest human on a bicycle in the world, she said. We weren't supposed to go more than 175. Mueller-Korenek's record-breaking feat saw a rider custom-made bike across the Bonneville Salt Flats in Utah on the 16th of September. She had set the women's record 147 miles per hour in 2016, apparently had her eye on the 167 miles per hour record set by Dutchman Fred Rompelberg back in 1995. And as she followed a racing car driver in a dragster across the flats, Mueller-Korinek made toppling the record look easy. She released a video of the feat on her YouTube channel, which we'll look at in a second. In order to reach her record-breaking speed, the former US national track, road, and mountain bike champion was pulled along by a tow rope at 100 miles per hour before being released to pedal herself. From that point, she was running in the slipstream of the dragster for 3.5 miles, achieving the record average of 183.9 miles per hour over the last mile. To put that in context, that's about the same speed a Boeing 747 is traveling just before it leaves the runway during takeoff. As a result of her feat, there are calls for Guinness World Records to stop listing separate men's and women's records for the event. I would agree. And let's, there's just a few pictures. So let's have a little look at the video, because there's a little video over here. So here we go. There you go. She's being pulled on by the by that rope to get her up to the dragster to get her up to 100 miles per hour. There she's starting to cycle. And can we just say, yeah, like it's not something I want to write on the YouTube. Can we just say that, like, oh my god, yeah, I can't even ride a bike, let alone do stuff like this. Jeez. Like, she's cycling. Like, I couldn't even cycle that. I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that. Anyway, she's got a tow rope on. And as you see, she's getting up to that 100 miles per hour. She's getting up to it. And I just want to wait for that point where they release the Kraken. Come on, release the Kraken. Release the goddamn Kraken. Release. Why aren't you releasing? Oh, there you go. So now she's released. See, now she's cycling on her own. And she seems to have a head cam on there as well. Now she's cycling on her own, look. And she's going for it. This is a custom-made bike. You can already see going along the salt flats. And there you go. she's the dragster. She's still going. I'm surprised they don't have like a speed counter, but oh, there she is. And she's the one pedaling. Like, that is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. It is a little bit of cheating, Brian, but it's absolutely amazing, isn't it? I mean, I get it. It's because you can't expect like I mean the men's are going to be the same thing. But do you see how she's like going so fast, and then she's going so fast is that she's locking back in there. But the dragster must be going way faster than her. Like I like that she's going too fast that she's locking onto it, onto the dragster. But like, look, you can see how choppy it's getting fast now. And there she goes, slowing down. It's like, and it's over so fast. So those are, oh, that must be like the hardest work down ever. And there she goes, just letting back. So wow. And yeah, so professional, yeah, she was driven by a woman as well, professional race car. So it was just all women, and this dragster, see here, pulled to the record. So that's a massive constructed device. And then she's got a custom made bike, and at the finish line, yeah, women, happy about doing women's things. But you know what? Yeah, fair play, fair play. I couldn't, I would not have the, I would not have the balls. I would not have the balls, my friends. But yes, let's move you to our our last in other news for tonight, as I'm trying to get the show down to a manageable chunk of watchability. But in other news, Ninja is the first gamer on the cover of ESPN magazine. Ninja is the first professional gamer to feature on the cover of ESPN magazine. The 27-year-old streamer, real name Tyler Blevins, is most famous for playing Fortnite and has more than 11 million followers on Twitch. He reached the mainstream earlier this year when he broke Fortnite streaming records after playing with Drake. Some people are questioning if a gamer should be in the same category as athletes. Brendan Hamlin. I play video games, I can say with 100% certainty it's not a sport. There is no physical activity involved. He got big thanks to Fortnite and Drake. Ninja started off as an esports competitor, mostly playing Halo. He switched to streaming, becoming known for Battle Royale, or last player standing game, Player Unknown's Battleground. But when Fortnite introduced its Battle Royale mode, Ninja jumped ship and then started getting really big. Back in March, Forbes reported that he had 3 million followers and 4 million YouTube subscribers. He now has 11 million Twitch followers and 18 million YouTube subscribers. It was a Twitch stream with Jake that really pushed Ninja's numbers up. Playing in a four-man squad with the Toronto rapper, American footballer Juju Smith-Schuster and Travis Scott, Ninja's stream reached over 600,000 viewers, smashing the record for a non-tournament game. Ninja makes nearly all of his money, which ESPN reports is close to $1 million, £750,000 a month from Twitch. He gets paid from adverts on his channels, paid subscribers, one-off fan donations, as well as other income from YouTube and sponsorships. The Chicago-based streamer has also made headlines with his newfound fame. In March, he apologized for saying the N-word on a live stream when he was rapping. Then in August, he was criticized for saying he doesn't play with female gamers out of respect for his wife Jessica, who's also his manager and a professional gamer. Even if there's a hint of flirting that is going to be taken and going to be put on every single video and be clickbait forever, he told Polygon in an interview. And Riley J. Dennis, hey Ninja, women have a harder time growing as streamers because they're harassed endlessly and not taken seriously. How are you going to use your huge platform audience to help? Well, my plan is to completely ignore them because they may be some little rumours. While Ninja's popularity has come on Fortnite, he has started streaming Call of Duty Blackout, which is another battle royale game. He says he gets so good by constant practice, streaming for about 12 hours a day. Averaging about 15 wins out of 50 a day, he always tries to end the day with at least one win. He tells ESPN, when I die, I get so upset. And don't we all? When we die, I didn't even switch that over. When we die, we get ever so upset, don't we? And there's Ninja, my friends. And yeah, I think that we've got one more story I might have time for, which I wanted to talk about, but I won't because it's a depressing story. It's a depressing story. We don't do that thing here. And as I said, trying to keep these to a more manageable version. I'm gonna end it there for tonight, but still got time for one more thing, yeah. Because obviously, I wouldn't just leave you out in the cold like that. I ain't like that. So let's go to. I had some other stories that I wanted to talk about, and I will probably talk about this more at length tomorrow, but I couldn't not talk about it, which is bam! Sony takes fans back as it announces retro PlayStation Classic. I saw this on the Twitters. This mini console will come preloaded with 20 games as it drops almost 25 years after the original. It's a little PlayStation. It's a little baby PlayStation. Look at that. Introducing PlayStation Classic, launching this December and preloaded with 20 generation-defining games. First details here. So let's have a little look at the blog. So blog.us, blog.us.playstation.com, featuring Final Fantasy VII, Tekken 3, Wild Arms, and 17 other legendary titles. The new mini console launches December 3rd at MSRP of $99.99, $129. Almost 25 years ago, the original PlayStation was, that makes me feel old. The PlayStation was introduced to the world, developed by Sony Computer Entertainment. It was the first home console in video game history to ship 100 million units worldwide, offering consumers a chance to play games with their real-time 3D rendered graphics in their homes. Today, we are excited to announce that we are bringing back the original PlayStation experience in a new miniaturized version, PlayStation Classic. The console will come preloaded with 20 classic titles, including fan favorites such as Final Fantasy IV, Jump in Flash, Ridge Racer Type 4, Tekken 3, and Wild Arms. Mini console is approximately 45% smaller than the original PlayStation and emulates the original look by featuring similar controllers and packaging. Long-time fans will appreciate the nostalgia that comes with rediscovering the games they know and love, while gamers who might be new to the platform can enjoy the groundbreaking PlayStation console experience that started it all. All of the preloaded games will be playable in their original format. And then for pre-order, they'll come with a HDMI cable, a USB cable, 2 controllers for local multiplayer with incompatible titles, and it's December 3rd. Now, what is the full games list? Seriously, only 20 games when the NES and SNES Mini have more preloaded games on them. I love PS1 from the start. Does it come with Final Fantasy VII? Really? And NES ROMs top out of 512k. SNES ROMs go up to about 4. PS1 e-boot starts somewhere from 12 to 25 times that and go upward of 2.5, such as if it's 5-disc ribbon were bought in. That means similar. It better have Gran Turismo Metal Gear Solid. Please, Metal Gear Solid. And like I'm thinking by tomorrow, we will have a lot more information. And that is, yeah, a really, really, really like, you can see someone anyway. $129 for 20 games. Jesus, great way for Sony to make extra money. Get a simulator on your PC or Mac or Mac laptop, hooked up to my TV with HDMI and play with a wireless remote. In brackets, I use my PS4 remote. Free and all the games, lol. Thanks, but no thanks, Sony. What a disappointment. No, what a disappointment from you. What a disappointment from you. Come on, internet, yeah. A simulator, remote, lol. At least he spelled disappointment right. What I love as well, yeah, is that he's actually signed up to like the official PlayStation.com account with his PlayStation.com account, yeah, and then he's actually said, you know what, yeah, screw you, Sony, I'll pirate all your games. How very savvy and smart. Like, how very smart. See, he's not even a PlayStation Plus guy, but how very smart. But very big news, yeah, very big news. And lastly, I wanted to show you this because this was in the news, yeah, and we talked about this before now. And as a BAME, I wanted to show you this, which was, we talked about one of these before. This is in Vanderhoof, British Columbia, and this is one of them pesky Firenados. A Firenado. Let's have a look at the Firenado. I mean, you're not going to be putting this out, are you? Yeah, like, I don't really believe that. So that was the Firenado. Yeah. Whoops. Let's just like. Did they really think, yeah, that they were going to get away with? Whoops. Did they really think they were going to get away with not like what? In what world are they going to put out that fire if it just sucks in water? It's going to suck in a hose. Why are they throwing rocks at it? Like firefighters, yeah, you're not supposed to be doing things like that. Anyway, enough of that. I want to say, lastly, before I leave, if you want to help Fowl Original put out the fire, I mean, you got to help Fowl Original put out the fire. The fire of no money is go to fowloriginal.com and you can go and support the channel and check out all the other things I do. But mainly go and support the channel. And then you can go to become a Patreon, go to streamlabs.com/fowloriginalwrestling. You can also click this donate button, this handy little donate button that will take you to a PayPal donation page, my PayPal donation page. And you can donate to the Fowl Original channel. Pop along $5 if you want. Make it a monthly donation. Write a note there if you want to chat to me and say, I am Iron Man. And then once you've done that, make this a monthly donation if you want to as well. And let me know who you are if you make a monthly donation, and I will definitely shout you out. You can also log in and donate with debit or credit card as well, as that is the PayPal way. But that's all we have for tonight. Tomorrow night, I will be doing a Thursday show. We'll be talking about the weekends, and I'll probably show this beard by then. It's a sweet beard though, isn't it? I will be talking about EGX, which is happening this weekend. That's on Sunday, and I will hopefully have some stuff ready for you to talk about that. And so weekly wrestling recap as well. We'll figure out timings on that. I think I'll be back in time for that actually. EGX finishes quite early, so I'll probably be back for the weekly wrestling recap, but I might give you guys an extra special episode of Newsround on that evening, talking about EGX and the games I've done seen and stuff. Hot takes. So, but that will be, and that will probably come on both. That will come here on YouTube and Twitch and Periscope. I'll find out exact timings for you very, very, very soon. But as I said, let's leave you with another fun thing that should make you all happy in your pants. So this is a little show that I thought I'd leave you guys with, which is yeah. Now a lot of people, for some reason, yeah, I feel like I'll get a copyright. I will get copyright claims. I can already see. So this is a classic TV show. I always do, yeah. But you know what? Jeu de vivre. Jeu de vivre. I think that's the right thing. Jeu de vivre. And let's. So this, yeah, is a show I used to watch a lot when I was a kid as well. A lot of these, yeah. Obviously, it's Newsround, so you know, let's whack it. Let's whack it over. So, if you like everything that you've seen on the channel, then you can go to fowloriginal.com and help support the channel. You can also help by sharing, liking, subscribing, and all those kind of things. All of those things do help me in more ways than you know possible. So thank you. This has been Fowl Original. Thanks for watching. See you next time.